there's a lot of capital work that must be done. But at the same time, art could now give you the visual impact that we're looking for. People are now looking every day. People stop here and say, wow, this is so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll take more, we'll look at more buildings. Some of them are in a state of disrepair. We're asking the owners to partner with us. We want to thank Mr. Murray, who was kind enough to let us use this building, and the other owners and the other spots that we actually picked. We're going to be doing a lot of this. We're going to revitalize Bay Street, but we're starting in the hardest area. The owners of the buildings that have left them must now come and step up. They must now partner with us to make this happen.
I am impressed with the Ministry of Tourism, the Honorable Chester Cooper, in the way he is taking this orange economy thing and has really infused it with the tourism product. He gets it. He understands that people travel for more than sunshine and sea, but for culture. People love to see art. Public space art is a movement that's happening around the world.
I just want to thank God for the experience, especially coming up as a young artist, you know what I mean? I was trying to get my work out there, you know, some way, somehow. But I do it throughout my lessons, throughout art education, whereas I teach it. And I also express myself through John Canoe.
People like to see what artists do, what they think, and be in that space. And as these artwork proliferate, the confluence would create a permanent outdoor exhibition that can be viewed from visitors and Bahamians alike.
And as people walk, you know what I mean, they'll be like, ooh, that's really nice. But once they see the effort and the creativity that goes within it, and they understand what they see, job well done.
The most exciting part about this project is the fact that artists who people don't know as well, this gives them the biggest canvas that any artist can ask for. This gives them an opportunity to create in a space that people will know their work and know their names.
I try to make sure that, you know, it is something different that where people have never seen before. You understand me? Because plenty of people are so tired of seeing the same old thing.
Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper is pushing this initiative. He said, let's talk, more work, let's get it done. He gave the team their marching orders. I want to thank my predecessors who saw the vision in doing this years ago. This just didn't happen overnight. But one of the things we have to do is execute, and that's what we're doing, making it happen.
The Downtown Nassau Redevelopment Project is dedicated to revitalizing and transforming the city of Nassau. The goal is to introduce a vibrant, attractive, and accessible hub for both residents and visitors, and to enhance the city's appeal as a cultural, historical, and economic center, reflecting the rich heritage of the Bahamas. In studio to discuss the works is the new manager for the Downtown Redevelopment Project, Mr. Anthony Bostwick. Hi, Mr. Bostwick.
How you doing, ma'am?
Welcome to What's Trending. So listen, you have quite a task ahead. So let's first talk about some of the changes we're seeing downtown.
First of all, let me say thank you very much for having me, and I want to thank the Bahamas for allowing us to carry out the works on behalf of the Bahamian people. I'd like to also thank the Deputy Prime Minister for having the vision to drive this as we are doing now. What we're seeing happening downtown is the transformation, not only the capital works development, infrastructure rehabilitation, and also just bringing a different flavor into downtown. We have tried, my predecessors have tried so many things to bring downtown back to its prominence. Those of us between the age of 40 and, say, 60 know downtown in a different sphere. It was the commercial hub of where we went to get all our goods on a Saturday, or where our grandparents or our mothers took us. Now what we're seeing downtown is basically four things: either meeting of Parliament, traffic, traverse, and tourists, and the basic one or two people passing through. That has to change. It is the main street in our touristic capital. It is filled with history, and it is filled with a lot of things that can happen that is happening globally. That is why we introduced the murals. But the one thing we don't want to focus on is just, as we say in another space, putting lipstick on a pig.
Okay.
We have some capital work developments that must take place. We have some infrastructure rehabilitation that is essential in order for the flooding that has to be addressed on the eastern side of Bay Street, Dazzle Street area. These are very serious things that have deteriorated over the years. This has not happened just overnight.
Right.
This has been an ongoing for decades that we have allowed to slip away. But what we now have to do, our generation, we have to be bold enough to make the radical changes that are necessary to say, let's modernize this space. Are we prepared now to change the traffic? Are we prepared to make this a pedestrian downtown area? Are we prepared to see cafes along where taxi cabs now occupy 80% of the downtown space? All the agencies have to come together and work together in order for us to make this radical change. Our generation cannot be afraid to take downtown out of ICU and put it in the operating theater and fix it.
Okay.
Okay? And as the Deputy Prime Minister said, we have to have less talk and more action. The beauty of him is that he brings a business acumen to this.
All right.
He moves away from the political side and he brings a business side to the table. And he said, gentlemen, what is it going to take? What's the cost-benefit analysis? What are we going to do to bring this area back to its prominence? It's going to take us, our generation.
What are some of the challenges that you're encountering with, making some of these changes happen?
Well, we have a lot of historical buildings that are there that are tied up either in legal issues, family matters. We are actually speaking with some of the owners of some of the old properties. Many of them have left the Bahamas. Some don't even live in the Bahamas, but they collect rent in the Bahamas. And one of the things we have to do now, if you collect and rent downtown, you need to fix your building. You should at least join the stakeholders, come together. Now, I'll tell you this, offers have been made to a lot of them. And some of them have declined the offers, but yet still they have not fixed their buildings.
Right.
So what we are asking government to do is to step in with us. Let everybody partner together. Let's sit down with the owners and let's have a common sense discussion, because the only way we are going to fix this is all stakeholders come together.
Okay. So what kind of timeline are we talking about to accomplish some of these goals?
Well, first of all, like I said, the capital infrastructure works. That is being addressed right now by Ministry of Works. Okay. I can tell you the flooding is a major concern in the downtown area, and even now, one time ago, climate change was just a conversation. Now it's a reality. Tidal rise right now is different. You go down to Bay Street on the eastern end right now, you'll see in certain properties there's water coming up. Okay, so to his credit, the Minister of Works, Clay Sweeting, and his team, they're now looking at addressing the outfalls to make sure that they are capped to a point where water does not flow back into the area. Okay. And that's going to help us, but we're going to have to do some periodontal work. Okay. We're going to have to go into the ground. It's going to inconvenience a lot of people, but it is a necessity. So
what can the public do to assist?
Well, first of all, they have to be patient.
Okay.
First of all, they have to understand that this is a team effort. Everybody has a stake in downtown, because we average 25,000 to 30,000 people a week in that space. Okay. Okay? We have to think about bathroom facilities. We have to think about getting rid of the rodents that seem to take up a permanent place in the downtown area. So those who are in the food industry, those who get rid of their garbage, must do so in a much more professional way. Okay. And then for nightlife and entertainment, okay, we must create parking. See, because first of all, the commercial aspect of downtown shifted late 70s, 80s to Town Center Mall, Mall of Marathon, Carmichael, City 2000, etc. So our generation used to go downtown, don't go downtown no more. And secondly, you can't park downtown. Right. So we have to look at all of these things, and we cannot be afraid to go up. We're Island 21/7, so there's real estate in the sky. Okay. We cannot be afraid to be able to be downtown and look in the penthouse over in Atlantis at the same level.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Bostwick, this is a very exciting project, and I thank you so much for your time, and we'll be following along. All right.
Yeah, and I must say, in closing, the Bahamas have been given a gift. Those artists,
yes,
from Jamal Rule, Rashid Demerit, Darrell Williams, dear Coakley, and you know, Miss Richfield, Miss Wallace Richfield.
Yes.
We've been given a gift, Angelica.
Absolutely.
And they're going to help us to put a new face in the downtown space.
I am so excited about it.
Yes.
And What's Trending will return in just a moment.